Yeah, sure. So basically, it's a representation of my grandfather. The snake was his totem, and a lot of the detail in the jersey is actually what he used in a lot of his art pieces. The blue at the top represents Caroline Pool, where my nan was born, and like over my shoulders, like is wrapping a tree, which is the tree over Caroline Pool, which she was born under. And down the bottom, I've got a meeting place and my grandfather's signature, which I just really wanted to add to the jersey, just to put a lot of his art onto it. And on the back, I've got. Should I turn around?
We'll do it afterwards.
Yeah. Well, on the back, I've got like 11 people, and that represents my nan's 11 kids and my grandfather's brothers and sisters. And I've got them on the snake to show that he's always with them and they're always with him. So, yeah, and on the collar I've got written Nadalu Yadabolti, which means we are Port Adelaide, which is a really significant phrase that we've used within the club this year, and it's really special and holds a lot of meaning. Yeah, so the club really celebrate our Indigenous culture and they're really passionate about giving back, so to be able to do this for Port Adelaide is really special. Yeah, I got actually quite teary seeing it printed and being able to hold it. It's obviously really a reflection of my family, specifically my family and our story and where we've come from. So yeah, being able to see it and hold it was a really big moment for me. Yeah, definitely. We're obviously pretty happy with 4 in a row, but yeah, we need to attack each week as it comes and stay focused on the next task. But yeah, obviously being able to play in the jersey this weekend is going to be pretty surreal, and I'm really looking forward to it.
What's the atmosphere in the club at the moment? Do you let yourself just enjoy those wins, or do you try to just keep focusing on the next target?
Yeah, well, obviously the energy after those games is huge, and we very much enjoy the win, but I think come Monday, we're ready to analyse the next game and go through what we need to do to get the win.
Obviously, at the start of this season, Lauren spoke a lot about, sort of wins and losses becoming a real factor of how you're going to judge this year. Is this, at the start of the season, you think what you expected that this group could achieve, that you go so well, and particularly the run you're on now, where you're looking like, if you do make the 8, that not many teams are going to want to face it?
Yeah, well, obviously, at the start of the year, your goal is to win games. So I think we had full faith that we were able to get a couple of wins on the board. This has obviously been a huge reward for effort of all the work we've done in the pre-season. So it's nice to see it paying off.
And the jump is also inspired by the overall premiership.
Yep.
Do you think that's foreshadowing what could come with you guys this year?
Oh, I haven't really thought of it like that before, but hopefully.
And what would it be like to run out in the jump?
Yeah, like I said, really special, and it's it's my story and it's my family's story, and it's it all started from where my nan was born to me, one of her great grandchildren, and she's got great grandchildren. So there's a huge storyline there, and it's gonna mean the world.
If you do continue on this run, there's a chance you could meet your cross-state rivals in finals. I guess
Yes.
how exciting it would be for the clubs, but also South Australia, to have a first AFLW showdown in finals.
Yeah, I mean that would be pretty surreal, I think. But yes, trying to focus on our weekly challenge. So not looking too far ahead.
Just on that, not looking too far ahead, both teams are winning at the moment. Is it good? Are you enjoying the fact that we've got 2 South Australian teams who are winning games? Because for a long time you guys weren't in the comp, and obviously you have to do it from the ground up. Are you enjoying the fact that there are 2 teams kind of jockeying for that top spot in SA?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's great to have 2 SA teams, like having a somewhat successful season. I guess, we'll have to wait and see what happens after round 10, 11. But yeah, that'll be a huge moment for SA to have 2 teams playing off against each other.
Do you think that type kind of competition will help promote the league here in South Australia, get more eyes on AFLW?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've actually noticed our attendance has probably lifted a little bit since we've been winning. So, yeah, without a doubt, that'll be the case for sure.
And what's the rivalry like in Adelaide? Is it like a hatred that we can sometimes see in the men's competition, or is it pretty?
Yeah, I think coming from Perth, it's the rivalry is quite strong, probably stronger than our Western Derby. It is very strong, I think. Yeah.
Touch on your reaction to seeing the product for the first time with the family connection. Have you shown it to people within your family, and how much it means to them?
Yeah.
Your work?
Yeah, I have shown them. I've got my nan and pop actually coming down for the game, and I'm gonna talk them through it and hopefully show them in person. But who I have been able to show over the phone and explain to them, it's been a really special experience, and I think everyone's really proud, and it's been really nice to reflect on my family and our connections, and the whole experience has just been amazing.
August to start off with, this round means so much to us. Can you talk about your own experience?
Obviously it's very special for us as Indigenous players to be able to play in this round for starters, to celebrate obviously the contribution that past Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander players have done for us to be in this position in the first place is really phenomenal. But yeah, it's just a really proud moment for all of us to be able to go out there and just celebrate who we are with the girls around us in the team. So obviously a very special moment.
Obviously, in terms of this season, North Melbourne come on this weekend. They've been so good this season. What are you expecting from them this week?
A really tough challenge. Like you said, they've been playing some really good footy, so but so have we. So we're looking at just rolling into the week, doing the same things that we typically do. But yeah, we'll look at their play and how they go about it, and we'll see how we counteract those stuff. But I'll back in the way we play every week, and it'll be a good challenge, and I'm hoping we get a good crowd out there on Friday night.
You've had some strong wins over the last couple of weeks, but just fell short, I guess, to Brisbane Lions.
Yep.
What are the main conditions this season?
Yeah.
How important is it to get this win over North Melbourne to get that confidence boost heading into the last few rounds?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I think after Brisbane and Melbourne, our confidence was a bit shot, and the girls were a bit down, but we were able to bounce back from that really well, and we have been doing that for the past 2 to 3 weeks now. So I think we'll be able to bring that into this weekend, and like you said, if we can get a win on the board this weekend over a very strong north side, then our confidence will be really high, and that's exactly what we need going into finals.
Last time you played North Melbourne as well was in the prelims last year, just lost by 1 point.
Yes.
Is there extra bit of hunger there to get this win?
I think we've put that past us. That's obviously last season, and we moved on really well from that. I think after it happened, that there was that fire in our bellies to get moving for the next season. But we've been able to forget that and move past that. So hopefully it's not, hopefully it's not a repeat of what's happened last season, and we're able to get, if not 1 point, more points up on them on Friday night. So.
You kept a close eye on the way that you're going. I suppose you're worried about yourself mostly, but have you noticed the fact that they've banked a few wins now and starting to kind of take the next step?
Yeah, we've I don't pay a whole lot of attention to much people outside of what we're doing, but I have noticed that Port I've got a couple of wins on the board, which is really good for them. At the end of the day, it's a healthy competition, and we love seeing any SA team getting a few wins on the board. So they've got a really talented squad of young girls, and those girls are showing up week in and week out, and that's paying out for them. But we're more concentrated on what we're doing, and we've got a tough game this week, so we'll figure that one out.
As far as finals go, it is a bit hypothetical, but would you relish the chance to play against Port in a showdown final, especially if it was their first final?
If it works out that way, then we'd be more than happy to take them on. I think it'd be a great atmosphere, and the fans would love it coming to a showdown in the finals time. So we'll see how it pans out, but either way, we'll be happy to face whoever it is come the day.
And how do you see the rivalry between Port and as fierce as we know it to be?
Look, I'm not a South Australian. I'm from Darwin. I don't quite understand the rivalry too much. I've been a part of a couple showdowns, and I can see how harsh it does get at times. But it's all good for me. I respect those girls. I know those girls very well, and they're good friends of mine. But when it comes to footy, it's the game that we focus on, and if we can take the win, we'll take the win. But yeah.
Touch on the group of the confidence being shot after the Brizzy and the Melbourne games.
Yep.
How did Doc sort of help lift you guys out of that? Because in terms of the minor round, you haven't had too many sort of setbacks in the last couple of years. It's more been in September when those sort of losses have come.
I think we've had our, moments throughout different seasons, and that was just one of them. But I think, Doc really handled it really well. He doesn't get too angry too often, but when he does, the group does know how to respond to it. So he had his moment throughout that time, and we were able to take that in a really good way and be able to bounce back from it. But I think it was the girls' majority, the group of girls that came together in those hard moments and really took on those lessons that we needed to learn in there and how we needed to improve, and then we got on the track and we figured it out from there. So.
Just going back to international, what does it mean to you the Guernsey guys and
Yeah, really special. I think it's awesome that the Adelaide Crows for the past 2 to 3 seasons now have brought in the Guernsey that all 3 teams wear, so our AFL, us and obviously our Samford team. So it's really special that we look as one coming into rounds like this, and I've had my share of designing Guernseys and being able to tell my story, but for Isaac to have the opportunity to do this is really special. This Guernsey tells the story of his connection in Adelaide and coming back home from where he was in Gold Coast for so long. So really grateful to be able to wear this and really proud for Isaac and his family.
that's probably similar to like Julie saying came down from
Yeah.
too, so you've got that connection.
Yeah, there's that as well. And I guess I should mention as well the representation of our past Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander players on this Guernsey as well. And it's special for us to be able to not only represent ourselves and Isaac's story, but everyone else who's paved the way.
Thank you. Can you tell us a bit about the design and how it all kind of came about and the influences that inspired you when you were making it?
So it's Tidinapatu, which is football in the Kaurna language. It first came about as a project for me from AFL. Someone got in contact with me knowing that I'm an Aboriginal artist, seeing stuff that I've done in the past, kind of loving my work, but also having a connection with AFL, with having an older brother who used to play football, and then I'm now raising 4 girls, so I've got 4 daughters with my eldest playing local footy. So it's kind of a connection of, having someone like my brother play AFL, but now having my daughters who have those inspirations now of the AFLW and players to look up to.
Do you ever expect you to see your own artwork?
No. I've painted footballs before for fundraising for the Go Foundation, but actually having something printed and being able to see the process of it being made. I was fortunate enough to go to Melbourne to the Sharon factory and actually see how they did, like the balls are made, and it was an amazing experience watching it. It's all done by hand, and yeah, it was just amazing.
Are you going to build them yourself?
Yes.
And what was the design process like? What did you decide to influence and what made the story?
For me, the design was more of a representation of the women. I know that they'd been using the Sir Doug Nicholls round ball, I think, previously, so this was for them. And for me, being a mum of girls, it's like sharing the journey and then the story of what's next to come. A bit about the ball, the story is there's water holes representing the communities that all the players and their families are coming from, with journey lines connected to other water holes. And it's got intricate design on the outside that's kind of a representation of, or is supposed to emulate a coolaman, which is a tool predominantly used by Aboriginal women. So in itself, every time the women touch or carry the ball, it's their tool still being used, and it's on its own journey as well. They're really proud. They love it, and they love seeing mum, being able to do all these cool things. And I think growing up, having, my brother play AFL, it's like a lot of family members, the boys were like, oh, I want to be like him. And now my girls have that aspiration of, oh, I can be like the girls now. And they've got that next step that they can take. So, yeah.